Hey everyone, it's TB Shores. It is March 13th, 2021. It is 1:14 p.m. In that last video, we were talking about like what we were seeing here in this Hebrew word in Psalm 55:10, how the Lord was showing us this was about an absence of the light, taking away the light that is within us, and it's all about silencing the voice of God. And as I was speaking that out in the last video, I heard the Lord say to me, voice was heard no more. So of course I pulled it up, and here it takes us to Revelation 18:23, where right here you see it says heard no more. So as we look at this scripture says, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And that's what the Lord's been showing us, okay, about that light being removed, and it will shine no more in thee, it says. Now I wish I was getting into breaking this down and looking at the deeper meanings that are within and see what details lay there, but right now I'm not being led to do that with this verse, maybe later. But it's specifically talking about the light of the candle not shining anymore in thee. So that goes right with what the Lord's been showing about the absence of the light and the removing of his voice. And this, as we go on into this verse, it says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. So like I said, I wish I could dig into this, but I'm not being led to do that right now. I think that speaks volumes in understanding that what we're seeing happening with the stick, and how it is about bringing about the absence of the light and the silencing of the voice of God. I think this leads understanding into where we are with that, okay, because it's about the silencing of the bridegroom and the bride. Okay, we know that when we see Christ as the bridegroom, he's coming for his bride. It's when he becomes one with his bride, and all this is telling us a lot. But I'm just going to keep going on with this verse. Hopefully we'll get back to this at some point and dig into it. But I've got so many other things that the Lord's already shown me, and things, how they connect with what we've been discussing. I kind of got to sit still on this right now. But so it's talking about the light of the candle being removed. It's talking about the voice of the bridegroom and the bride being heard no more. And it goes on to say, this is why, okay, this is key right here. It says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth. Okay, we know who the great men of the earth are, okay? For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So this is about the great men of the earth deceiving all nations. And that's what's happening right now, okay? And how did they deceive them? By sorceries. So let's go see. Most of y'all already know this, but it's just confirming. It is letting us know where we are, okay? Okay, sorceries means pharmakia. And when we look at pharmakia, come down here to definitions, and this is what it means. Now, I'm a little hesitant to speak this right out, but you can see it. And pharmakia, of course, lets us know it's that place where we go to get, I'm trying to be careful here. It's that place of medicine, okay? So we see that pharmakia, which is all about what's given to us for what ails us, supposedly, okay? And keeping that in mind, we've had this big ailment for what? I'm not going to get into all that, but you know what I'm talking about. We've had this big ailment that everybody was worried about, and so pharmakia has thrown out a solution. But pharmakia is about, look here, magic, sorcery, and witchcraft, okay? So through this solution that is in the stick, we see that by pharmakia, all the nations are deceived by who? The great men of the earth. And what is happening? The light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. So this right here speaks volumes, not only as into what's behind deception with sorceries from the great men, but also I think it speaks to timing of what the Lord is about to do, because we see mention of the bridegroom and the bride here. But now keep in mind, bridegroom and bride is about becoming one, as a bridegroom and a bride do, okay? So it's about becoming one with the Lord. It's about what he's fixing to do with those that are truly his. So that's where he led me when we were talking about silencing the voice of God. By speaking to me, voice was heard no more. All right, now we're going to move on. Hopefully I can get a little bit more in here. So the absence of the light, we can see Revelation 18:23 connects to that perfectly. And we were talking about in that last video how it all connects to the time of the Tower of Babel. Okay, we saw, let me see here, where's that picture at? Right there. We saw that the Tower of Babel, the pictures, and I'm like, again, I say, every depiction of this Tower of Babel had this spiral design to it. So, of course, we know that connects us back to the building blocks of the body. And when we dig a little deeper into this scripture, and there's a bunch here that I'd love to get into too, but I'm only being led to do certain points. If time allows, hopefully the Lord will lead me back to do some more. But right now, we're going to focus on, okay, what we know about the Tower of Babel. We discussed it. So it was about man's attempt to, I'm trying to find that. Right here it says, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach into heaven. And let us make a name. And let us make us a name. So it's about exalting themselves, okay? Not only with this high tower, with the idea of reaching unto heaven, but also making a name for themselves. So this is about exalting themselves up to the level of God, is what this verse is saying. Okay, what the Lord wanted me to point out is, let me see here. There was something else. Okay, and how the Lord had confounded their language. Okay, that is an important thing to understand here, because that is what the enemy is about to do with this stick, and what it'll do with the end, affecting the ability to hear the voice of God. So when we look at Genesis 11:2, the Lord had me to look up this word right here, Shinar. It says, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. So what can we find out about the land of Shinar? Okay, when you click into the Hebrew, it just gives you kind of like a location. It's like a city between two rivers, or something of that sort. And I'm not saying that doesn't hold significance, but what the Lord wanted us to look at was when I looked up the meaning of the name Shinar, because He has me to do that a lot. It's the meaning of names many times. And it says, excuse me, excuse me, that Shinar meaning is cast out a breach. Look at there. There's our breach word, which basically means to make a hole in, or to rip, or to tear. And hold on, I gotta write something down. So here we see the connection with where they set the Tower of Babel up in a place that means cast out a breach. Now, the phrasing of this struck me as a little odd. So as I dug to try to understand, I don't have that stuff pulled up, but I'll just explain it to you. As I dug to try to understand the meaning behind cast out a breach. Okay, a breach means a hole. And as I dug and understood, it's about something that would be done back in days whenever they would invade a place and they would breach the wall. Okay, cast out a breach. Cast out a breach means they have made a hole in the wall, and they're to cast out. I kept hearing the word as I was trying to understand this. The Lord kept giving me the word plunder. Plunder. So it's about casting out of this hole. About in this hole is where they put all their plunder. It goes through. It's what they're plundering. It's what they're taking. Okay. What they're taking for themselves. So I'm trying to see if there's a better way to express that. Okay, and as we come down here and we understand the meaning of Shinar, we see right here. All right, let me go down just a little further. The SR, which is what we're seeing in this etymology section, related names, is this S accent R word. Okay, and we see it right here. And what it means, and it is connected with Shinar because this is variants from it or connected to it. It means which expresses intense negative emotion and the experience of violence. Okay, I'm going to cut this video off here and we'll get into that when I come back, okay? Love y'all. Bye-bye.